Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joel. I'm now a nurse graduate from Imperial Valley College and currently working in the ER as an RN. And for today's video, it's going to be why I chose nursing school. So why nursing? So that's a question that you're always going to be getting, whether it's before your application process of nursing school or maybe during nursing school. For me, I got like that question probably like 3 times during my first year. They made you do kind of like essays and see kind of like reflection of yourself, and I wanted to do this video to help you determine if you are a good candidate for nursing school or if you kind of like have the same thoughts as me. The first thing I want to say is like you're never going to feel ready, you're never going to feel entitled, you're never going to feel that you're prepared for nursing school, you're never going to really feel that you should be the one helping other people with medicine and stuff like that, because that's like a big deal. Let me just tell you right off the bat, everybody has that mentality. Nobody really feels like I deserve this and I need to do this and I'm the most qualified enough to do this. Like, no, you're never gonna feel ready like that. And once you get to the floor, you're gonna feel so incompetent in a lot of aspects, even if you want to admit it or not. But you have the whole team there helping you, whether it's your preceptor, whether it's the other nurses there that have been there for either years or maybe a year or two. They're always going to be helping you, and you're going to be learning pretty much how to be a nurse while you're on the floor. So if you are an average student or low student, barely passing, or if you're like a really good student, that doesn't say whether you're going to be a good nurse or not. You can be super smart in the book and really be terrible at the actual hospital setting, and vice versa. You can be a nurse that is a student nurse that is barely passing their classes, but they really have that thing in the clinical setting, the hospital, to help the patients. So you really get a lot of everything in the hospital. So don't rely that the grade that you get on med surg or pharmacology will determine how successful you'll be as a nurse. That's one thing that you should know. A reason why I wanted to do nursing school was because in the valley where I grew up, in Imperial Valley County, we really don't have a lot of choices in regards to like finding a job, unless it's like law enforcement or nursing related. There are jobs there for phlebotomists, CNAs, nursing, both like LVNs, RNs. Like hospitals are always requiring those. So if you graduate with those type of degrees, you are almost granted a job before you even graduate. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to have something that I liked, something that, you know, I would feel proud of doing, and something that I could pretty much have already like a secure job prior to graduating from nursing school. I wasn't in the valley. It's more like nursing school or law enforcement, kind of like that, like healthcare or law enforcement. Law enforcement, I was really like nothing. I'm not even like, no, I don't have an interest whatsoever about law enforcement in any single thing, and that's okay, right? Because maybe you might be into like health related, but not really law enforcement as well. You know, it's nothing wrong about that. So with me, I was like, well, I really don't want to do medical school, which was like my initial goal way back then. But then looking at the years, that's going to be like 4 years undergrad, and then medical school, and then residency, and then it's like I'll probably be on my own like after like 11 or 12 years with a lot of debt and barely making it, probably like financially, and not even making it because I have a lot of debt there. So I did not really want to have my parents worry too much about me and carrying with my loans or helping me out. It was not really something that I want to do. I feel like my parents always helped me a lot, and it was my time for me to just like give them a break, you know, not after high school then being like, all right, now you're gonna pay for this, now you're gonna help me with this. And it's like, I know parents, they do everything to sacrifice even their dreams to help you, but with me, I was like, I didn't feel comfortable with them doing that. So that's why I also wanted to stay here in the valley. Didn't have to go across 2 hours towards San Diego or anything, because I knew that if I had to leave, they were gonna pay for something. Either my parents had to pay for my rent or my tuition, and it was really not something I felt comfortable doing. Nothing at all. Like, and I didn't want to have debt either. So, you know, it was like a thing that it's like, well, you need to stay in the valley then and do something healthcare related. And you know, an RN in the valley gets around at least like $36 an hour. So that's, and starting, you know, so it's not bad at all. And in the valley, you pretty much are used to like minimum wage, so between like $18 an hour. So having double that it's pretty good. And financial aid and the scholarships I would do from my community college, I would get a lot of money from there, and I'll save it up just in case I wouldn't qualify anymore for financial aid, or they wouldn't give me all of the money to cover everything. So with me doing like all these scholarships and everything, pretty much all my 2 years of general ed got paid for, and then my nursing school got paid for. I didn't have to pay nothing, like not even a cent, because all the scholarships I would be doing, a lot of essays, because I did not want to give my family that burden. So, and I worked as a tutor, 20 hours a week, doing microbiology and English and physiology and ESL. So I knew I had the patience to also teach people, whether it's because in nursing school or nursing, you do a lot of teaching, with your patients, educational. So a lot of them had different type of educational levels. So you really need to know how to explain stuff. Like if you're telling it to a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old, that's really how you really learn how to teach. But if you really don't have the patience, you really don't know how to explain things, then nursing is really not going to be too much for you. Maybe you can, and you're going to get away with it, but your patients are going to pretty much be the same. You're not going to make any type of difference in regards to them being discharged. So they're pretty much going to be back again. So I knew I had like the patience, and I had like the ways of explaining things to anyone. That's one thing that you really need, and if you don't have it, you can learn it. Just in nursing school, you'll see how they'll make you do like educational stuff for patients, and that's how you can learn there. But I also wanted to help people, but I feel like helping people is really not a thing that will cut it. You need something bigger than that, because just helping people, there's billions of ways you can help people. So you need some bigger momentum or gasoline or something there to like really fuel you up, just in case you feel motivated, just in case like you feel you can't go on. So with me, it was like making my parents proud, my family proud, my whole family, being the first one in my family to get a degree, and also being an RN, at least in the Valley, it's a big deal, because the nursing school here in Imperial Valley College back then, they accepted only 20 students, and then when I got there like in 2017 to barely start my prerequisites, they bumped it out to 30, I believe, because of some grant. So having the uniforms red and black was a really big deal, because only 30 applicants would be accepted, and then like 5 or 10 in the wait list, and like 500 or 600 were like applying and wouldn't be accepted. And back then, pretty much it was either you want to stay in the Valley and do IVC nursing school, or you would go to Yuma or Palm Springs, kind of like that. So I really did work hard on all those classes, so I didn't have to leave. Then once I got there, I knew that I had to get like, I did ask myself, like, why am I doing this other than like making my family proud and helping people. And I did come up with the I guess explanation in my head, because I really had to convince myself, like, why are we doing this? Because once you're in nursing school, like, there's a lot of heat coming towards you, so you really have to like know really why you're there. And with me, it was like I really want to make a difference in that person's life, which is very weird to explain in a sense. But so once you are there in the hospital setting, and it's the words that the patients tell you, like, I never had a nurse like you that it took the time to explain these things to me. Thank you. Or whenever they come back, but not them as a patient, but them bringing their family, them saying hi to you and just thanking you again for helping them and making them feel better, and now they have a better life, stuff like that. Those are the moments that you thank God or thank the universe, whatever you believe in, into making you struggle like that. Because I do believe like making a difference in someone's life is kind of like changing the world, because you change that person's world or that person's perspective towards nurses or the hospital. You brought them hope because of you. So, and that made sense, because then like a couple of months later, I was hearing a podcast from one of the military guy from Mexico who was in the special forces, and there was like a really big earthquake in Mexico, and when he went there to help people and they were thanking him and everything, that's when he really appreciated all that type of hassle and all that hard work and all those things they went over training and all that combat, like he was very thankful for that, because due to that he was able to help out the people there. And that's what also made my click a little bit more. It's like, thank you for letting me struggle through nursing school and like all the tears, all the stress and everything, so I can make this impact in these patients' lives. So that was a thing that really helped me the most. And yeah, and I really feel like you can see sometimes, whether you're a nurse, like a student nurse, or you're a nurse, or you are a person that's been in the hospital as a patient or as a family, you can see the nurses who actually give a crap versus the ones who really just don't care. You can see it. You can definitely see it as you as a family member, if they're really not checking up on you. Obviously not every minute or every 10 minutes, because sometimes it's very busy, and you as a patient or as a family, you can tell when it's really busy because they're going up and down. They're not just chilling there sitting in their phones. But when you see like they take the time to explain, they take the time to grab your hand, or really let like, we're doing the best we can, and informing the family of the updates and what does the results mean. Because sometimes the doctor just tells you, you have this, and they're like, okay, well, what's that? And they really don't explain it too well. So as a nurse, you're the one who has to kind of like reinforce the teaching, and also like tell them in different ways like what's going on and how does that impact the patient. And why are we giving this type of antibiotics? Why are we giving this type of medication to them? Why is this breathing treatment helping them? Kind of like that. So there's a lot of things that go in nursing school that you learn somewhat theory, but it's completely different in the clinical setting. So yeah, that's pretty much why I started nursing. Just having the mentality of like, if you are the nurse that will actually really, really care about the patients, you will really, really make an impact on patients' lives. And that for me is something that money cannot buy. It's not something that there's a shortcut to it. It's something that you've earned. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Because the pay is really good, at least in the Valley. However, for all that type of responsibility, all that type of like stress that you have, and all those type of like things are going on in the ERs, you even say like, this is really not like worth it in theory. Maybe in the first couple of months or even a year, you're like, yeah, this is cool, we can get the hang of it. But then there just comes those days that it's like so much stress, so much liability, so many things behind that sometimes that pay is really not worth it. So some people even become travelers, because why get paid $2,700 every 2 weeks when you can get paid that in a single week by being a traveler? So that's why they tell you like, whoa, don't go to nursing school because of the money. The money is kind of good. It's really, they don't pay you like 19 an hour, 20 the hour. It's up there, at least for the Valley, and I believe like in San Diego it was like 60. But you at least need like a BSN in San Diego, and here in the Valley it's just an RN. You can go from there. But then you have San Diego State to do the BSN, which is the one I have here. Look, let me just so I haven't updated you guys, but I did walk towards the ceremony and everything for the BSN program. I can post later pictures here of like the event, but this is pretty much like what we got. So the bottom one is the IVC one, and then the top one is the one they gave us at SDSU. Let me see it. And I wanted to put it here just as a reminder pretty much to me. The IVC remembrall that I got, and then the pin. So technically I walked in the ceremony on May. It was May, I think, or April. I think it was May. Yeah, I think it was May. But right now I'm doing summer, so I'll be finishing hopefully my whole BSN in August, the day after my birthday. So my birthday is August 13, and I finish August 14, which lands on a Monday. And I'll be done. Right now I'm taking community health, and then I was taking like an ethics class for my major. So I'm already done with the ethics class, and now I just have the community health. And yeah, so right now it's what, July 20th, so less than a month, and we'll be good to go. Probably, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to do in nursing. Always have that mentality in your head, and maybe you didn't really think too much about that because, like I said, you really have to be on the floor, whether it's like a student nurse, as a patient, or as a family of a patient, for you kind of like see that. And but yeah, that was pretty much for me. And yeah, that's pretty much why I want to become a nurse. So I don't know if it was like a very short story or a very short motivational thing, or something to help you out, but having that mentality is really going to pay off. But always, my way is like making my family proud. And I guess like there's a lot of things you can do to make your family proud, but you know, having those extra letters behind your name, that really does the trick. Especially in nursing, like you can be like RN, BSN, MSN, you know, it's like freaking all the letters of the alphabet, which is, I found it sometimes ridiculous like that. But hey, it's like a flex you can do, so why not? I don't know, that's pretty interesting. I always find it interesting, like doctors just have like the MD or DO, and that's pretty much it. But with the nursing, it's like boo, it could be like 7 or 8 different letters. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I really hope you found this useful or somewhat entertaining. I'm sorry for not posting videos earlier. It's been pretty wild in both work and school, that you know, when I try to catch my breath, I'm with my family, with my friends, with my girlfriend, and it's like I feel like time's running out in some sense. But I did take some responsibility for not posting also, so I'm so sorry. But now things have changed. I am planning of updating my videos every single week, so if you stood here until the very end of this video, follow me on Instagram if you haven't done so, right here. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm always there for you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys into the next video. Bye bye.